warrior line, soul tribe, assemblies live. So come subscribe, your soul's in trial, or simply type soul medicine and gets revived. The warrior line, soul tribe, assemblies live, it's friendly vibe. Soul medicine will give you life. Your warrior, let's get
their natural hair
warrior line, soul tribe, assemblies live.
Aren't
Come subscribe.
Part of that whole Eurocentric starvation gaze thing. They're not beautiful. They are beautiful. And I want to see more of their representation because they do have worth and they do have value. And the main thing why I want that as a Black woman is it's hard to see someone's humanity when you're superimposing their image as a monster. They're aggressive. They're strong. They're intimidating. They're mean. Annie was none of those things. She was existing. And in the end, when she died, she was fully in her femininity because she wasn't in survival mode.
That's the thing. That's the thing about white supremacy. But even if she wasn't, she's still a human.
Right.
Inherently, white supremacy. People need to read Jefferson's notes on the state of Virginia. Is the erasure of humanity.
You should put a link. Drop a link. I want to read it.
Yes, it's to dehumanize.
Yeah,
that's the goal of human. It doesn't matter good people, bad people. Is they want to dehumanize, and what the Irish did was they became white because they were being dehumanized too. But then for political power, to coalesce power, they became white. We never could become white. So it's always has been and always will be until they eradicate. White people eradicate white supremacy, and they're the only ones that can eradicate white supremacy. Is dehumanization. Less than see. This is what they look like. This is who they are. And Ryan Coogler is saying, no, this is who we are.
Right.
We're everything that you are, but we're first and foremost humans.
Right.
And that's why I tell people about labels. I am not caught up in these labels. See, we can't have it both ways. We don't like labels, but then we always want to label ourselves. I'm this, I'm that. I am a human being, and I want to deal with anybody who for the uplift of humanity. I don't care about them D's and R's behind your name, because you know what? In the end, they don't mean nothing. Because in this kind of society, the only thing people care about is money. You talked about Target. Target cares about money. Bottom line.
Right.
And so that's how you do it. Montgomery boycott stopped because of money. They didn't stop the people on the buses because they started loving Black people.
People don't regret their vote.
No, God.
They regret their vote because they're losing money.
They regret consequences.
They don't regret their vote for the right reason.
No.
And you can't educate that away. You can't train it away.
You can't be right.
They have to do the work. And that's why we're not playing along.
No.
But so this movie, I think for me, it was really emotional because it showed me on the screen the beauty of who we are as people, the things that we carry inside of us. And it also, with the Irish, we have a lot in common with them.
Oh, yeah.
The difference is the oppressed became the oppressor, like you were talking about. We will never become that.
No.
And so in this, in our constant holding one another accountable, whether it's within our own community or within, quote, allies who want to be part of our community, you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to pay your dues. You don't just show up and say, okay, I'm part of the community. That's not how that works. You have to understand what it is we're facing and what it is we're trying to do. Otherwise, we're solving a problem that you don't even understand the problem. You're getting in the way. You're sabotaging, right? Step aside. We're not interested. Don't invite them in. Don't invite them in. For me, I love this movie because it was very Black. It wasn't the show Atlanta Black, but it was very Black. And I loved seeing stereotypes dismantled right in front of my eyes. You couldn't help but be pro team Smoke and Stack. You rooted for them. They are the American dream. They wanted to build something. Sammy said, Chicago must be great. You must have felt free. And I forget which brother. He said, no. Which twin? He said, no, Chicago is basically Tennessee, just with taller buildings. We are oppressed everywhere. It doesn't matter, plantation or not. We don't have plantation mindset. The entire country is a plantation. Mm-hmm. The reality of it is, if every marginalized group would actually pay attention, they would see that they were part of that, whether they think they're participating or not. And they are not plantation owners. Being adjacent doesn't mean you are. And so I love that this movie was unapologetically Black. I love that it presented Black history in a way that I felt was entertaining. Again, you know, based on where you are with your current knowledge of Black history or not, it is on its face a very, very good movie.
For me, it's better than that, and here's why. For one scene, for me, it's the greatest movie I've ever seen, and here's why. I wanted to say this part. This is our last segment. I wanted to say this part for last for me. It was the, and I'm almost crying now. Just be vulnerable and open. I don't care. It was the greatest movie I've ever seen because of the song in the Jude joint, because it was so spiritual.
Mm-hmm. You mean Sammy's song?
Yeah, yes, because and the way it was done. I mean, I've looked and researched, checking on my phone and research at the harsh critics, movie critics, and they are saying that was the greatest scene in movie history. Mm-hmm. Because the way the cameras was working and the spiritual nature of the song, you were almost a ghost moving through time, showing you not only we've been talking about white supremacy and how it affects on this continent, but that how they did that, it showed you throughout history.
Yes.
The colonial white supremacy, and look at and the song. You know, I don't care about the Oscar, nothing, but it says they say the truth hurts, so I lie to you. Yes, I lie to you. I love the blues. See, people don't understand how spiritual that is. Think about that. Everything we've been talking about is in that line right now. Well, you know what we've been talking about? People can't change Jennifer because they don't want to deal with the truth.
Right.
You can't put no PowerPoint up and talking about this is wrong. People don't care because they don't want to know the truth. But when you come from a spiritual realm, and the way they did that, taking you through the ancestors and the hush harbors and back to even colonial time with other cultures, how all this stuff was done, and then they bring you through back to where we are, and then they take you to the future, to descendants, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to get us to our descendants. That was a montage, and then how the roof burned down and the walls burned down. It was like we came out here and hid in this juke joint and out here in the woods, but you can't contain our spirits. You can't contain the love, the ancestor we have. You can't contain all your white supremacy, all your culture, all your Jim Crow, all your stuff. When we come together in spiritual realm, we cannot be contained, and that's what has sustained us. You're talking about black for black fatigue. No, we're the ones that are not tired because you can't destroy. You're not going to put us on reservations. You're not going to destroy. The blues. What we're singing is you can't control our voices, and you might can touch our bodies physically, but you cannot touch our spirits, and you can't touch our souls. And the way they did that, and the music and how it crescendoed and how the humming. And I remember my grandmother humming like that when she didn't know what to say. She would just hum and this is the experience that even white people are saying we haven't seen nothing like this before. This is what it's about, and this is why people are going to watch this movie 4 and 5 times. This is why this movie is going over $200 million domestically, because it's touching some. It's not just if it was just good, believe me, it wouldn't be doing this. This is touching something, in my opinion. This is touching something that you can't put on a PowerPoint presentation. You can't put on a white sheet. You can't do your dissertation over it. It's that those however many minutes that scene was just elevated this movie to a level that I still cannot articulate. That's why I said Sinners is divine. That was the divine. Ryan Coogler was touched by God to create that scene. That's just my opinion. People don't believe it. That's fine. Whatever. That was divine. That was something that you just people hadn't seen before. It's just so visceral, and it just stays with you. People go back to watch this movie just for that scene, just to feel it again, just to experience it again. And really, in life, in the end, what we're talking about, our experiences. Our lived experience. Even with you, somebody came at you on paper and you talking about, you don't know my lived experience, right? Who are you to tell me my lived experience? What's your source? Life.
Right.
Life.
Right.
Life. My life.
Yeah, you saw that?
And I don't have to explain that to you, but my source. See,
the audacity.
See what I'm saying? We don't have to have source material for our lives. We live this.
Right.
That's the source. The person I see in the mirror. And so, I that just really, I just wanted to make sure we touched on that because that was just so, yeah.
I wanted to just be the voice to say, listen, what we got from the movie may not be what other people get. And that's okay. Yeah. It is meant to be entertainment. But if you understand the symbolism behind things, then it goes deeper for you. And it is a very Black movie. And that's why people have been reported to walk out. It's their rejection of our experience and our presence and our pride in what we've built and who we are. But I myself, I am not my parents. I'm not interested in changing people's minds.
No.
I'm not interested in educating people who have access to everything. They're centered in everything. This was for us, by us. And if you want to enjoy it, enjoy it. If you don't. It isn't offensive. It isn't aggressive. It's merely art. Art is meant to be political, sexual, challenging, confusing. Yeah. And so it's, we're not, what we get from this movie is going to be different from what someone else would get from a movie. And guess what? We're all correct. There is no right or wrong. It's open yourself up to an experience that you haven't had before. And just be open to it. That's it. And I'm glad the movie happened. I'm so happy you watched it. Thank you so much for generously sharing your insight. I feel like I learned a lot today.
Oh yeah, and
I want to watch it again now. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna post this in parts because it's good and it's long. So I'm gonna post this in parts when I edit it and break down. But I'm looking forward to our collaboration. This is what I was talking about. This is we break. It all started with Severance for us and these breakdowns, and look into the deeper meaning of things. And it's such beautiful. And I appreciate your time. I appreciate your husband allowing you to have the time to spend with us and share this, because I've learned so much just in talking since day one, since we started talking on Blue Sky. I learned so much from you, and you're such an inspiration to others. And I don't know about anybody else, but that's all I care about right now. But it's good, and this is gonna be good. Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm really grateful for this experience. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, you are.
I'm going to be thinking about this now for 5 days.
Oh yeah, because and you know what? And I know I'm gonna close with this. I'm so glad this for you, because I don't know you real well yet, but I just you have an anointing and a call from God, and I'm glad you're gonna get to hear your own voice back to yourself, because when we're talking, we don't hear ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We hear our, you know what I'm saying, but we're not listening. It's different. Mm-hmm. And so when you hear this back, you're gonna say, "Yeah, I got something to say. I need my voice needs to be out there. I because God has placed this in me to give birth to it." And I thank God for you giving birth to your thoughts with this movie and going forth as we deal with other things. And I want to collaborate you on more things, and as we talk about real issues and deal with things, because our voice needs to be heard. We're the grassroots. We're the nobodies.
Yes.
But somebody, people ask me why I write a book, why I wrote Greasy Red, because if one person gets touched by it, it's worth it. I'm not looking for the masses.
One of my Blue Skies called me the most famous, not famous person.
Yeah.
That was so funny. I'm just a regular person doing my thing, but I do have thoughts and feelings, as we all do. Yes. And, surviving within systems makes it hard to have a voice and not want to seek validation, and kind of dumbing down and altering your voice for the masses to accept, and just really say what's on your heart the way you feel it. I really appreciate you giving me a safe space to do that.
We are.
So come subscribe, your soul's in trial, or simply type Soul Medicine and gets revived. The Warrior Line, Soul Tribe, Assemblies Live, it's friendly vibe. The Soul Medicine will